My name's Chris.
And I'm Bakeoff.
And also Kristie.
Bakeoff. I'm trying to come up with a Bakeoff to Nutbush.
She's singing Bakeoff to the Nutbush.
Yes.
This is the Washing Up podcast. That was a version of the Nutbush. There's only one reason why we're going to have so much of a dance focus, in all honesty.
Hey.
Marcus, how you going?
Hey Chris, hey Kristie, how's it going? Great to speak to you.
It's fantastic to get to have a bit of a chat today. We've been looking forward to this, actually. I've sort of been buzzing a bit all day.
Yes, and you were stuck at a bloody swimming carnival, so that
I
was
was.
a mammoth effort.
And I can't wait to speak with you guys. Yeah, and been dancing a lot. And that Nutbush, that was really fun.
Well, let's start with the ending. So we'll work backwards.
Yes.
Big dance at the end. That was a really awesome moment for the whole. How was it? Man, obviously bittersweet sort of for you, but how was it to sort of see that back?
Yeah, it was really nice watching the end of the show. I wasn't really looking forward to the episode where I go, but then I liked it how they edited and portrayed it. I didn't know they were actually filming at the end with that dance.
So a little birdie sort of told me that the dancing became quite common, not just on camera. Is that true?
Yes, often during the wash up, actually, they put on the music, and then we were all dancing. Everyone, it was cool.
What were the top 10 jams?
I like doing the shuffling, and they had a lot of old school songs.
Yeah.
There was karaoke. And it's good fun. It's good because it can get pretty hectic and a bit stressful when you catch long bakes, and then when you dance, it's a really good way to relax and enjoy yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it was something that we sort of saw through all the way through. They sort of focused on that with you a bit, but it was in a way that was really sort of endearing and lovely. And I mean, obviously, I think you saw on social media when you went home, the outpouring of "No, Marcus, I can't take this." There was a lot of weeping.
Yes, it was nice, all the support and all the messages. There's some really nice people out there, and it felt really good with dancing. I find I can feel very free and just do what I want, and it's good. Feels good to be yourself.
Exactly. And it's sort of, how does it feel to know that sort of you impacted that many people in a really positive way, just not only through the dancing, but just being on the show?
It's amazing. Being on the show and the impact you can make. I like to try and be positive a lot of the time and encouraging, and I hope that I'll encourage a lot of bakers out there to apply for the show and to encourage them to bake.
Absolutely. So who were we talking to that said if you were near Marcus's or Dave's bench, then you were surrounded by Zen? So obviously your vibe is...
Yes. Chris mentioned that. Yes. So Chris said, Rob said how, when you were near me, then you'd be much more relaxed.
Rob said that last week.
That's right.
Because I find with dentistry as well, you need to be very calm and relaxed. If you're stressed out and you show it, then the patient will be as well.
Yeah.
And then I find if you look like you're really relaxed, you've got relaxed body language, it feeds back to your brain and then it makes you more relaxed as well.
So there we go. Dentists out there, take Marcus's advice. Don't make us worried.
Yes.
Good experience.
Yes.
Actually, I won't lie. I've had really good experience. I've never had a bad one. So there you go.
Oh, good.
And you seem to have passed dentistry on, in the Bakeoff shed.
Not only did you pass your Zen, you passed your dentistry.
You passed on your dentistry to Emma.
Yes, that was really cool. It was really cool to hear how she was interested in dentistry, and then now that she's got in, it's really exciting for her.
Yes, now that she continues to just do stuff and achieve things and make me feel completely inadequate as a person.
So when she graduates, you guys can band together and have a dentistry baking practice.
Yes, exactly. That's the plan. We were talking about it, and I said, when
big scam. I mean, plan.
It does seem like a bit of a scam because Yeah, we do have sweet tooth, so then we don't want to give too many sweet things to the patients,
Yes.
and then end up needing a lot of fillings. So I think it's good to create awareness. So I tried to do that on the show, and then there were some savoury things that were baked, which was good.
Which is also, again, sweet tooth. That has to now be the name of your dentistry practice.
Yes.
That's perfect.
Yep, that would be cool.
Yeah, I just think it's great because my cousin and I had an idea when we were kids that I would become a doctor and she would become an ambulance driver. So she'd go around and knock people over and bring them to me.
Oh my gosh.
And then you'd fix them. And you thought this was the perfect scam?
Hey, we were 8. I was 8. She was like 10.
I'm a bit worried about the 10-year-old plotting to hit people with an ambulance.
She also used to do Axl Rose impersonations in the street, which were hilarious.
Well, that makes me feel a lot better about her running people over with an ambulance now.
They would have had a soundtrack.
Her sweet child of mine as she runs you down.
Welcome to the jungle!
Yeah, that's actually quite appropriate. So speaking of welcome to the jungle, welcome to the shed. What is that like, that moment when you first walk into the shed?
Yeah, so it was amazing walking to the shed because I've seen it on TV a lot with the past episodes, and then to be in there, I had to pinch myself. I couldn't believe it.
Just like you expected?
It was, quite similar to what you see on TV. It is like very big. And there's a lot of room for dancing. It was like quite a good surface for dancing.
Like everyone's like, what are the ovens like? And you're scouting out going, the dance floor's there.
It had a good slide to it. It was good.
I think it's kind of important that it has that sort of feel because it sets the tone of the show. And I think that the environment you're in sets the tone. And,
yes.
We often talk about this idea of the show being this ultra positive sort of thing and presence out there. And I think that it's an understated part of the show, but the layout of that shed just sort of encourages everyone to sort of communicate and encourages positivity.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, you're right next to all of the other wonderful bakers. There's not a lot of like walls. It's like very open space. And there's a lot of cooking appliances which are very homely, and
a lot of people walking dogs in the background. Of finches and wildlife coming around.
There's some really nice pictures around.
Yeah, my big concern would actually be that I would get so distracted I wouldn't put anything on the plate. I'm looking around going, oh look, there's a person. Oh look, a finch. Oh look, it's oh damn, we're done.
The shed
doors
are open a lot. Do any birds fly in and try and pinch your stuff?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because they do open the windows quite a lot. I think there probably would have been some birds which came in, but actually probably the biggest culprit were dogs. Because it's actually like a public sort of place, and there's a lot of dog walkers that come in. And when the dogs come close to the baking shed and they smell the baked goods, they've got to come in.
Like, ooh, is that bacon?
I love the idea that Matt Moran, while he's not being filmed judging bakes, is running around and going, shoot.
Yes.
Or just catching dogs to add to his collection. Like,
Chef extraordinaire and dog whisperer.
Yes. He's like this. What was that? His name's Cesar Roman or something?
Cesar Romero. Yeah.
Romero.
Or the other idea is that Maggie's putting out like a bowl with verjuice in it because it's Maggie and it can't be water; it has to be verjuice. That's the way that has to go down. So, of all of the bakes that you got to do, was there any one which you'd never attempted before and you just sort of really either loved or hated?
Yes. Yeah, so the Fraisier cake, I've never attempted that one before, but I really love that recipe. I found it's actually really, really nice cake. It's quite simple with the flavours, but then they go together so beautifully with the
strawberry. Well on that technical too.
Yeah, and rose water. Yep.
Have you
during that. Yeah, I haven't. What was that?
Have you made it since the shed? Have you made it since you were on the shed?
So I haven't made it since the shed, but then I really want to.
Yep.
It's good for summer, and then it's really effective. That's on the to cook list.
That's on the cook. So which one's not on the cook list? Which one is never touching that again list?
Yeah. So actually, the jam drops. that one.
An answer.
They seem so like simple, but deceptively.
That's been the most interesting thing I've found from talking to other people from the season. There's a number of them that have commented when I'm expecting,
I never want to create a pavlova again.
Yeah, I'm expecting like any of the other bakes. I'm expecting them to talk about, the pies, the Fraser cake, all those other things. And the one we've pretty much got almost non-stop is jam drops. Never again.
Yeah, it's strange how it is. But
what's the issue with the jam drop?
Yeah, so with the jam drops, I think the issue is that it seems like so simple. And then also when you cook it, I found it quite difficult to get the jam to the right temperature.
Yeah.
It's hard to know whether the recipe wants you to have like the average temperature of the whole solution or just the temperature at the bottom of the bowl.
Yeah, well, I think it was Claudia's that went really, the jam was really weird, and she looked at it, that's not right.
Yes, yeah. I overcooked mine as well, and it got super sticky, and it took a really long time to reduce.
And the other thing was...
had to clean that pan.
Yeah, I'm pleased it wasn't, I'm
the cleaners did an amazing job in the shed. Yeah, I made so much mess and used so many
we're going to come to that because in the kitchen, you're my spirit animal. Now,
Patronus.
Thanks.
No, I'm going with just spirit animal because
yes.
I'm exactly the same. When I cook, my bench is a bomb.
Yes.
And the week that you cleaned it up, I've never been more crestfallen with anyone in the shed than your bench was clean.
Yes, they were putting a lot of pressure on me to clean it up.
I would have refused. I would, no, it's who I am. It's my persona. This is what I do. You're going to take away the ethos of my cooking.
Well, it did seem to affect it because when you cleaned, you didn't have no, you did. You did a bit better at the baking.
Don't encourage you to clean up because then I'll have to clean up after I cook.
But please continue to be messy, otherwise I'll never hear the end of it. If only for Kristie.
Yeah, it's interesting with the bench. So I find it tends to get messy very quickly, probably because at home I've got a lot of bench space and I just lay it all out. And then also there wasn't like an area, like each bench didn't have a sink, so you couldn't really clean up too much as you go.
Yeah.
So I just like covered the whole bench and then to clean up.
Well, that's throw it outside to the dogs.
Dog, you find it.
Yeah. That's a good
But that would be the big problem though for me, would be that there's like, if to put it in the sink, you've actually got to walk to the back of the shed. I'm not doing that. No, I'm busy. I've got a bake to produce. You just stack it there.
I just go leave it on someone else's bench. The bench is a mess.
Claudia's bench is immaculate. 1 second. Oh, Claudia, please clean that up.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know how they keep it so clean. And, Claudia did really well with keeping it clean.
The other thing I would have done is I would have stashed them all in the proving drawer. But then we come to a challenge.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I did that as well. Yeah. And also underneath the bench and then in some of the cupboards.
You are definitely my spirit animal.
Someone's gone to one of the fridges to have something cold, and it's just Devondale and pots and pans.
He goes to prove a dough and opens the drawer and goes, "Oh yeah, that's right. Last week."
Yes. Yep. And then maybe when the bench was quite clean, I might have just put a lot of the pots just behind the bench so it appeared clean on the surface.
As long as it looks good. I'd like to imagine there was one take once where Matt and Maggie would come into the bench and they've come around and gone, "So, Marcus, what do you clunk?" And knock all your trays over. Occasionally stashed behind the bench. Forget that. Didn't happen.
Just a big kind of like, what's it called? Foley saucepan drop.
It becomes a Foley artist.
Yeah, Foley artist.
Yeah, it was interesting. I saw watching the episode. There was the KitchenAid which dropped while it was mixing.
That was brilliant.
That was pretty cool. It was amazing how it survived so well. It just kept mixing.
It's good. That's going to become a technique at some point.
I'm imagining now that they're going to invent like baby Bjorn holders for the mixers, so you can carry it.
Yeah. Yeah, when I put a massive amount of dough in the mixer and then you turn it on like to max, then it actually gradually like waddles around.
Yeah,
it just like jumps off the bench by itself.
I can confirm this for everyone at home. If you haven't got a KitchenAid, I've got one, and they do. They walk. They're amazing. They're wonderful products. But if you overfill them and turn it on to full, it's a bit like Fantasia. Where they're all walking. Yeah. It's exactly that.
Dress up like Mickey Mouse and start. You could try to chop them in half.
You could line up KitchenAids and recreate Fantasia in a kitchen.
And they're very sneaky. They just gradually move off, so you don't expect.
They're like a cat. They're the cat of the kitchen.
And then the worst part, again, for those who don't know, is that they're ridiculously heavy. So when they start to go, you're not catching that.
Not without difficulty or a lot of
you're gonna break a bone. We see the mixer start to fall, and you just move your legs out of the way, let it hit the ground. It's robust. The floor may not be, but it's robust.
Yes. Yeah. Could create some holes in the floor. I think the Bakeoff shed was okay though.
The good news is though, you could stash pans in it, so it's all good. Create a hole. I'd like to think after those jam drops, by the way, that rather than clean them, they just went, new pans.
New pans.
Right,
yes.
Done.
Nice. Oh. So
there are actually dishes who were cleaning a lot of the things, and they were really good on the show. They were very patient.
That's a job I would never want. The closest I get to doing the washing up is this podcast. That is legitimately it.
Oh, you watch occasionally?
Yeah, it's not really washing up though.
You saw me last week trying to scrub a kitchen sink, just going, "Why won't you clean?" And you've got to let stuff soak on it. I'm like, I don't know this.
Trust me, as someone like Marcus who just leaves it for a bit, let it soak.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yes. And then I have been using like the dishwasher more now, so then you can dirty things up, put it in the dishwasher, and just the dishwasher's constantly going. And take it out when it's done, and then just keep going.
I'm just disappointed, like, everyone's like, oh, Back to the Future with like all the like cool stuff that should have happened in 2015. I'm just disappointed, like, we're not the Jetson age where we have like Rosie
You want Rosie the robot to do your dishes?
Yeah, yes.
And everything else. And serve me with smart aleck responses. Like,
I'd like their sort of Jetson mobile. I'd like that. Just
as long as we don't have to go back to 50s, gender roles, it's fine.
We'll avoid those.
Yeah.
For your sake, we'll avoid those. In fact, for the sake of mankind, we'll avoid those.
Humankind. I was going to ask Marcus, so what you said you've watched previous seasons of Bakeoff. What inspired you to audition, and how was that process for you?
Yes, so for Bakeoff, I really love Maggie Beer, and I love watching the show. It seems like with the Bakeoff that the contestants are really nice, and it's a really encouraging atmosphere, and I really love the baking, so had to apply. I applied 2 years ago, so
it's a while
when
now.
when I was at uni for the first time, and then I tried to get off uni, but then the teacher wouldn't let me, and I was going to like bake something to try and bribe her to let me, but then it was my final year of dentistry, and she said that I couldn't.
How does a cake bribe go in a dentistry course? Just for
you have to make it minty flavour.
So actually, some of the dentists, they've actually got sweet tooths, and they're like chocolate and like macaroons. So you have to find their weakness. So I couldn't get on that year. So then I think the show they wanted me on. So it was like the fear of missing out. So then I applied for the next year, and then they wanted me, and then got on. So it was really cool. Yeah. And I think it's good applying a lot, because each time you apply, you get used to the audition process and like the kitchen that you do one of the auditions in.
Yeah, and your skills are improve as well. So if you weren't, if you were rusty at biscuits, the previous year, then you brushed up on that for the next year.
Yes, exactly.
And you get that idea of a timed bake. which is something we talked about with Michelle the other day when we were talking about the idea of time and how you may be good at a bake, but you've not done it to that time limit before. So that's the tricky bit.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I find I like doing baking to relax, and then you don't really time yourself. You just take as long as you want. So it is hard doing it to time.
You mean to tell me that you don't normally bake with like superimposed music over the top of it to build pressure? Doesn't everybody? I thought that's how it worked.
I just have a smart ass, female comedian.
Just have a female comedian walk past, make a couple of innuendo jokes, and walk away.
I mean, you've got
it does make it more challenging. Yeah, with the interviews you have to do during the process. Like sometimes you're like baking and you don't really know what's going on. And you need to read the recipe, but then you're asked like questions and you've got to answer them. And so you just try and give responses, but then it might not make much sense.
I think I said baking powder, not heroin, but we'll work it out.
It was one of the two. I said something in that part.
See, I've done bakes too, time in the past. It's whatever the white wings told me. Like, you combine this, put in the oven for 15 minutes. All right, got this.
But there's not music over your shoulder sort of pressuring you to do it.
No, but there's usually music coming out of the phone,
That's true.
There's Spice Girls or something.
That's very true. Did you have a week in particular that was just your favourite week?
Yeah, so I do like cake week and also bread week. I think bread week, it was actually like savoury. So I felt like I wasn't just a dodgy dentist.
Good. Another savoury week. I'm a big fan.
Yes.
Yes. So made the goat cheese focaccia. Is that right?
Yeah, and the cheese and the nuts are really good for the teeth. And yeah, it's really fun making bread. It's nice how there's the proving time so you can relax a bit.
gives you time to chill.
Yes.
Or as Michelle told us, drink peppermint tea.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Or just head over to who has the booze in their bake that week and have yourself.
Yes. There's always someone with booze in their bake.
Yes, find the booze. I mean, that's...
And if not, just pop out to Maggie. I'm sure she's got something sitting by.
Anything as a palate cleanser, Maggie, anything at all. Because we've put forward this theory a few times that
Maggie has a dragon hoard full of butter.
Well, that was one, but the other that was your theory last week.
Yes, it was.
My theory that I put forward, and I raised this with Monica from last year, was that Monica was saying that her bench was the one last year where all the booze was being stashed, and we did ask her about leaving it in there and if there was like a secret still sort of hidden somewhere in the shed with all the booze. And a speakeasy was eventually what we sort of put forward. That maybe Live and Feed last season, for example, had a speakeasy where they'd been making the booze and sending it like the Simpsons in bowling ball.
Interesting theory there.
Now, was there one particular bench that seemed to be hoarding all the booze?
I think there's quite a lot of benches. I think a lot of people, they put alcohol in the dishes. And
I think it's important with Bakeoff.
Yeah, it adds that extra amount of like flavour. And
it adds the extra amount of flavour, and it also adds in the extra amount of, I really don't want to go home here. Drink this, and maybe you'll like me.
However, I really call I think it was Cheryl who did the wine cake.
Yeah.
And that didn't go so well.
No.
Yes.
The problem with a wine cake, though, is you need to know what sort of wine the judges like. And you need to pair it with the other bakes. and it doesn't go very well when you can't necessarily pair your wine cake with the other cakes. I mean, it's hard to work out.
Yes.
It's a tricky situation.
Why do you need something fruity?
Actually, with alcohol, so I did use Malibu in one of the bakes. Yes. And then I brought back the Malibu back to Melbourne. And then I thought I like screwed the cap on really tight, but actually somehow it sort of loosened. And then there was like, my bag like smelled a lot like Malibu. And I think when I came back to Melbourne, I probably seemed a bit like an alcoholic.
And there's just one really happy drunk dog at the airport.
Yes. And then managed to get through the airport though. Yeah. Luckily. But it does smell very good, Malibu.
But the best part about that would have been because you couldn't tell anyone where you'd been because you'd been for Bakeoff. You'd just come back from a flight reeking of Malibu. I mean, imagine what they're all thinking.
Tour.
He's been away on important business. Yeah, sure, Mum. Yeah.
Conference, eh?
A dentistry conference.
Yes.
That's what it smells like.
Have you ever been to a dentistry conference?
Yes, been to a lot of dentistry
Are
conferences.
there guys called Rob there who can't show you their face?
Oh, yes, yeah. There are guys called Rob, and then I think I've seen their face.
There we go. But hang on, but it wasn't on television.
No.
So there we go.
No.
Yep, they're around it. There's that little loophole.
Yeah.
That little loophole.
Plus, it's like the magician's code, you know? Like, magicians don't tell each other secret. Dentists don't reveal Rob's face.
Yes. Yeah, it's very unusual why they don't show his face. You'd think you'd want to see his teeth because you want to know if he looks after them.
I'd want to trust him. I'd want to know that he looks after his own.
Yeah.
So was there anything you'd never attempted before, apart from the Frasier cake? Was there anything that was like really out there that you just went, this is really fascinating as a bake, possibly a technical? Was there any of those other technicals that you went, wow, this is interesting, this is teaching something new?
Yeah, so for the clafouti, that one was quite different to what I've done before.
What's your new word?
How are your balls? Did you struggle with them or?
That's a very personal question. So with the balls,
on TV, so I think.
yeah, they seem to go okay. It is hard to get them symmetrical though.
Yeah, that I've never
Yeah,
seen people struggling with symmetrical balls.
I know. In all my life, I've just never seen. Anyway,
So with those balls, it does seem like a lot of effort to go through to make the dish, but then it's pretty effective. Like when you bite into the clafouti, then it just like bursts all the apple flavour, and it's quite acidic. It's really nice.
Ooh. See, for me, the thing with the clafouti is that you saw the top bit of it, but they could have been any shape underneath that top bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, who's perfectly symmetrical? Are you really measuring them?
You could have carved a penis into the bottom part of it.
Yes, you could do anything in the bottom.
Gone the full fruit and veg. Meat and two veg.
Thanks. The fruit and veg.
Well, it's a banana or an
Your
eggplant.
colloquialisms are going really well today. Really well.
I've just gone back to work after a week off of Kristie mode.
You've just finished celebrating Christmas.
Still switching gears.
The one that I found the other one I found really intriguing just for the reactions of the bakers was the pumpkin scones. I found it fascinating because it's sort of something that people who bake will tell you is you can do scones or you can't. It's not one of those ones that it's a really learned sort of skill. How do you find when they go scones and everyone at home goes, oh yeah, that's going to be simple? But they're not.
Yeah, scones, that was another one that was very challenging. It was very hard to get the rise on the scones. I think the carbonation of the ginger beer that we used, I think it probably got a bit flat and then didn't rise not as much as it could. But then also there are a lot of other things which went wrong with me. So I had a egg yolk glaze, which prevented them from rising as much.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but again, they already weren't going to rise because of the ginger beer. So by that point, it's like, just make them look pretty.
Yes.
That's what I would have done.
Yeah, nice golden top.
And as we learned in that episode from Rob, throw bacon at it.
Yeah, Rob's hilarious. It's great the lines that he comes up with.
I know. The way that he deadpan just looked at that, and into that challenge, he was like, I panicked. I threw bacon at it. And everyone else, you could almost hear everyone with the pumpkin scones because going, if only he'd said this before the technical, we could have just thrown bacon at it.
Yes, very clever strategy there.
And then every time a bake happened afterwards where bacon was involved, I'm like, did they panic? Was that a panic? Did they mean bacon or did they just throw bacon at it because Rob said do it?
Chris is like with his waffles, bacon's falling into his batter. at the abode out of the shed, in your downtime, were you one of the people heading out to eat kilo burritos, or were you in your room having peppermint tea like Michelle?
Yes, so I did go out sometimes, but I didn't go to that burrito challenge.
You didn't do the burrito challenge? So you don't have a luchador mask. Disappointing.
No, yeah, it looks really good, that mask. Missing out. But I was sort of a bit concerned because I'd been like eating like heaps of like cake and I was like pretty bloated, and then it was like a kilo burrito, so I didn't think I could do it.
You're like, that's far too much acid for my poor enamel.
Yeah, and then I think I spoke to some of the guys who went after, and it seemed like they were regretting it. It was so big.
Oh, I have absolutely no doubt there are regrets on a kilo burrito. But at the time, the glory is amazing.
And then that mask that they've got, I'm very jealous of that.
Can I get the mask without having to do that? Can I just look at someone eating a kilo burrito?
Yeah, that would be better.
So is there, what was your burrito moment then? Did you head out to the local surrounds and do anything fun, or?
Yeah, so, I did go to, there was an area of Rosebery, and then there was Black Star Pastry around there. There was also a gourmet supermarket, and there was some really cool arts around there.
Yes.
Got a lot of inspiration.
There's a couple of really nice sort of gourmet markets around that area, so that would have been fun.
And I love grocery shopping, like just going to the supermarket, and they've often got some nice, like, relaxing music. Just go to the baking aisle, and then all the other Bakeoff contestants are there.
I have frequently been sort of told off by people for like dancing on the trolley all the way.
Oh, good on you. That's the way to go.
But you know the words to all the songs, and I love it. Like, grocery shopping for me used to be this kind of like, just whatever kind of thing. When I go with you,
it's a concert.
It's not. It's like a concert experience. It's like grocery shopping, the live experience.
Yeah, I do sing a hell of a lot.
Yeah, it turns into karaoke in the aisles. It's like the Coles ad, but without the cameras and Casey Donovan,
or Status Quo.
Yes, and it's good, the aisles, because often they protect you from other people, so then you can do whatever you want.
And then when someone else walks into the aisle while you're in the middle of concert,
until someone walks into the aisle, and then
you make that brief moment of, do I keep singing, or is this person thinking I'm really weird? I keep singing, by the way.
It's brought me a memory back to me. When I was a teenager, I was a checkout chick. Now, I don't talk about my life as a checkout chick. Did you know?
No, I didn't know. I'm learning things for the first time, like the rest of you.
So I was a checkout chick. Jules supermarket, no longer there now. The building is, but not
fancy,
Jules.
very fancy.
And when stocktake was on, it was cool because there's a whole bunch of us, and we'd have to go through and manually count things because that's what you do. And they'd pump the music, so I'd get distracted quite easily. I was a terrible worker. I couldn't stay focused.
I like how the story began with what an awesome time working at Jewel was, and finished with, I was terrible.
I wouldn't employ me to be a supermarket chick at that point. I was really nice, but not cut out for supermarket work.
How is somebody not cut out for supermarket work?
Because you don't
At that point, you quit it as a career?
Yeah, I could never count change properly.
Nowadays, you wouldn't even have to. Nobody brings money.
Oh, yeah, it's just all card.
Nowadays, it's all card. Nowadays, it's, would you like flybys?
I'd perpetually hurt myself on the little rolls of coins.
How do you hurt yourself on the rolls of coins?
You knock it right, and when you're knocking it, you're not paying attention to where your fingers. Well, I'm not paying attention where my fingers are, and smashing them between the register and my fingers.
Oh dear!
Should have gone for compo.
Coin compensation.
And then I just imagine this manual handling training that had to go out for people how to break coins.
No, my image now is that they would have paid you the compensation in a roll of coins. And you would have hurt yourself on your compensation. That would have been spectacular. Anyway, so
back at the ranch.
So since the show has finished, and I believe there is a slight gap for that. How was that gap between the finishing of the recording and then it going to air for you?
Yes, so it was a very long gap from filming the show and then watching it. It kept getting like pushed later, so we were expecting it to come earlier. And yeah, it's um, been like a long time, but then when you watch the show, then it feels like you're back there, and it feels like it was only yesterday.
Aww.
Yeah, it's hard being such a long gap because you want to like tell people, and you've got to like keep it a secret for a really long time, and it's like a lot of pressure, like keeping a secret. It's really hard. People like want to get it out of you, like they try and get maybe a drink of it or just like
you come
spill
back
the
to
beans
Malibu and they wonder why you're smelling a Malibu.
Well, it's like Stephen from Great British Bakeoff, who we spoke to a couple of weeks ago, spoke about how he couldn't tell his best friend that why he couldn't go to her wedding.
That's hard.
Yeah, the producers eventually gave him permission on the grounds of, no, you don't understand. She will kill me. And they're like, okay, you can tell her why you can't come to her wedding, but that's it.
So who was like the most, like a person that you couldn't tell that, really wanted to weevil it out of you?
Yeah, it's hard. There's like a lot of people. So yeah, so there's like my cousins, a lot of my friends, and they just ask you like constantly, and then they think that you'll tell them eventually. They keep asking.
I was doing community service, okay? Not rubbish.
We don't talk about it.
I visited Pentridge. Is that still open?
Not in that way now.
Oh, okay.
Tours, still.
Oh.
He visited Pentridge. He got stuck.
Big fan.
Big fan of Pentridge.
Jails.
Love old prisons. Now, before we finish up, my other question I have to ask you is, and I've asked a few of the bakers this, I'm striving to put together the baking ashes. Now, what I want is I want a team of 5 Australians and I want a team of 5 of the British bakers. And we've asked some of the British bakers for their teams. Ask some of the Australians for theirs. You can pick any 5 bakers that you want.
From any season.
From any season.
Except the one that shall not be named on Channel 9.
We don't talk about that. So, yes. Any 5 bakers. Who are you picking?
Okay. Yes. It's tough. So, I know the bakers from our season the most.
Yep.
So, from our season, I liked baking with Emma. And then, Claudia. And also, I like a lot of the bakers from our show. It's hard.
Think strategically.
Also, I like Antonio.
Oh, yeah. Well, you pick Antonio just
bring on the Wunderkind.
Yeah, just because that's going to throw them.
Yes. Yep. And then, it's like Raisa.
Raisa does some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be a pretty
team.
I think that's a pretty good team,
yeah.
And it's a good mix.
Absolutely,
it's a good mix of strengths there. There's a lot of really good strengths there. I think that's a good win.
Yeah,
and also Rob's really good.
Yeah, Rob would be really handy, I think, to have around there too, because when Rob's
going wrong, then he'll just throw bacon at it.
Exactly, and that's the thing. If the competition is going badly, people just getting covered in bacon, and then we all win.
And considering, we need a what's it called, a neutral international judge, it'll probably be the Canadian baking show.
The Great Canadian Baking Show.
And they will just bacon for bacon.
They'll love it.
They will. Yeah, very Canadian.
We're strategizing so we can't lose. I like this. Thank you very much, Marcus. It has been an absolute pleasure to get to talk to you.
Yes, thank you very much, Chris and Kristie. It's a pleasure talking to you guys.
Not a problem. So we've got a big episode coming up again this Thursday night, of course. So keep your eyes out for that. Also, everybody, just remember, there will be new drinking game cards coming out. I apologise to everybody's liver in advance. Last time we did this, card 3 was a doozy.
Or you can take Mel's suggestion, do it with cheesels.
Yeah, Mel did suggest doing it with cheesels. I still suggest doing it with alcohol and just sort of gutting it out.
Or just do both.
That will work. Take 1 card for drinks, 1 card for cheesels. There you go. You're perfectly set. Until next time, I'm still Chris.
I'm Kristie.
And we will catch you all later.
Ciao.